Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Hey Gurudev, sorry for keeping you waiting. My computer took some time to open up. So yesterday we were reading this. Yajna Shishtashinas Shanto Muchyante Sarvakil Vishaihi Bhunjate Tetpakam Papa Epachantyatma Karanat. And the previous verse was the one who partakes of without giving back is considered to be a thief. Let's go to that one verse once and then we go back. So Ishtan Bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattana pradayabhyo yo bhunte stena evasaha. The gods propitiated by yajna will give you desirable objects. Therefore, one who enjoys objects given by them without offering to them in return is indeed a thief. So the gods here mean Ishvara in the form of deities. So everything is Ishvara in the form of deities, starting from all the cosmic forces. They do their part. They do their part by default. But if we do not, we partake of only what they give without giving back, that is tantamount to being a thief. And this beautiful example of the top-down tree. Because of rapid industrialization, people's desires have become manifold. Changes have come from the top and there is no foundation, leaving the society top heavy without the roots that proper growth requires. Growth should be like that of a tree. First, the roots are established and then the tree grows from there. And the roots are of dharma and moksha. Thus, a person who wants to live a life of dharma will have problems in some parts of the world. Only where there is some dharma in society is it easy to live such a life. To propitiate the devatas means to follow dharma. By living a prayerful life, you create a conducive atmosphere. And when majority of people live this way, then the society will be conducive to the growth of dharma. This is one reason why we have to spread this knowledge. I would always have this doubt as to the path of moksha is your own. It is every individual's purushartha. Why do we have to worry about the other? This is the reason why we have to worry about the other. Not worry, but work towards uplifting everybody else, which is what Gurudev is doing. His vision is this, to spread dharma. So thus a person who wants to live a life of dharma will have problems in some parts of the world because he or she does not want to bribe people. Only when there is some dharma in the society is it easy to live such a life. Conforming to the order. The devatas will do their jobs whether you propitiate them or not. But when you go against dharma, you disturb the order and you are the sufferer. Therefore, everyone must do his or her job. The devatas do their job and you do yours according to the order of dharma given in the Veda. We read all this yesterday. I'm just doing a little recap. So a person who does not remember the devatas is no different from a common thief. Devatas do not seem to come looking for you. They are all in your appreciation. Otherwise, they simply do not exist for you. Still, they operate constantly. The very air you breathe is Ishvara. The work of the Devatas is always done and can be recognized by you. And if you do not recognize them, you are a cheat because you take from them and do not give them what is to be given in return. So what they require is something so simple, just recognition, being aware. Recognition and thanksgiving are. So when you return to the Devatas, what you return to the Devatas is your recognition, which is what is called yajna. We perform the yajna as a return, as a thanksgiving. It is not for anything else. The yajna itself brings about an antakarana shuddhi, because of which the person can give thanks. By giving thanks, by recognizing everything as Ishvara, you will definitely gain antakarana shuddhi. A person who respects the cosmic forces is not an ordinary person. He or she no longer goes by ragadveshas, but goes beyond them. Otherwise, there would be no recognition or thanksgiving. On the other hand, a person who performs karma to satisfy his or her mind and senses alone does not offer oblations, not even water or a simple twig. Such a person is a thief and a cheat. He or she does not give the cosmic forces their due. In the next verse, Krishna describes these two types of people. Yajnashishtashinas santo mujyante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagham papa epachantyatma karanat. Those who eat, having first offered the food to the Lord, are released from impurities, whereas those sinful people who cook only for themselves eat papa or sin. Karma Yoga is presented as yajna in this verse. We have seen how all actions are yajnas, whether they are in the form of rituals, prayers, or performing one's duties to others, more of which we shall see in the next chapter. Since Ishvara, the Lord, is to be recognized in the form of various cosmic forces or elements, these forces are viewed individually and are called devatas or devas, meaning deities. Thus, it is said, may you propitiate the devas and let them bless you. This means that you let them do what they have to do and you do what you have to do. In this way, since there is nothing outside of Ishvara, the natural forces are not looked upon as mere inert forces. Everything is within Ishvara, the conscious being, Chetana Vastu, even when one is under the spell of dream. In a dream, we see both living beings and inert objects. The mountain seen in a dream is inert, Jada. The sun and its rays are also Jada. Everything seen is Jada, in fact, and not Chetana. But the difference between the inert and the conscious, Jada Chetana Bheda, is only within the framework of what is perceived by you as the subject of the dream. If, having perceived the dream objects, you shift your perception to the person who is dreaming, the creator of the dream, then you will see that there is no world outside of the dreamer. If the dreamer is a conscious being, the dream world is non-separate from the dreamer because he or she is both the maker, nimitta karana of the dream world and the material, upadana karana for it. Therefore, from the dreamer's standpoint, there is nothing inert or conscious. Everything is the dreamer alone. Very beautiful paragraph. So there is no difference between the dream world and the dreamer. They both one and the same. Everything is the dreamer alone. Because if there is no dreamer, there is no dream world. Similarly, from the standpoint of Ishvara, the cosmic forces are recognized as being non-separate from Ishvara because there is nothing outside of Ishvara. They are not simply taken to be Jada. Even though they look as though they are Jada, they are all Devatas from the standpoint of Ishvara. In this way, the sun becomes a Devata, as does the air, fire, water, and the earth. Acknowledging Ishvara in this way, recognizing his many aspects in the form of Devatas, one performs various rituals and prayers, which are also actions. There are various actions that are to be done, including the daily rituals, Nitya Karma, and rituals performed on certain occasions, Naimittika karma, stipulated in the Veda as part of its vision. Nitya karma and Naimittika karma are to be performed without exception until one takes sannyasa, that is, until one renounces everything. Just give me a second. Acknowledging the cosmic forces as devatas. Whatever results you receive from the actions you perform are blessings given to you by the devatas who are doing their jobs. I repeat this. Whatever results you receive from the actions you perform are blessings given to you by the devatas who are doing their jobs. If you acknowledge these devatas and give them their due, you become a person who is not a thief or a cheat, as Krishna said in the previous verse. Here in the present verse, he contrasted the person who is not a thief with one who is. One cannot help but perform certain harmful karma as one lives one's daily life. Life does live upon life. If freedom or free will were not there, nothing would be sinful, strictly speaking. There would be no wrongdoing, no papa karma. But because one has to eat and must fulfill certain minimum requirements in order to survive, there is naturally going to be some kind of injury, himsa done. Some plants, animals, and bugs will be destroyed. In this way, many non-human living beings are destroyed every day, and this destruction produces certain untoward results called papas, which keep on gathering every day. How are you going to eliminate these results? Knowingly or unknowingly, a lot of papas are incurred, and you gather results that are undesirable, which in turn result in some kind of unpleasantness, dukkha for you. To neutralize these results, then, there are different types of yajnas. Yajnas to the deities, to one's ancestors, to one's fellow creatures, to the rishis who have given us this knowledge, and so on. These yajnas are to be performed daily and are contained in one ritual. The Yajnashishtashiнаha in this verse refers to those who eat after having first offered the food to the Lord. In other words, those who partake having paid their dues. While people in India today may not perform all the enjoined yajnas very methodically, they always offer the food to the Lord and only then do they eat. The ritual itself is not what is important. It is the attitude, the bhavana that counts. Food is cooked and offered to the Lord, the attitude being that only what is left over, yajnashishta, is to be eaten, which is what is meant by prasada. It is a blessing from the Lord. Those who eat only prasada do not eat food. They eat only prasada. Having offered the food to the Lord with a prayer, such as the chant Brahmarpanam, the food itself becomes prasad. Thus it is said that those who offer food to the Lord and then partake of what is left over are released, muchyante, from all the little papas, sarva kilbishas, that have been gathered daily. because of having performed some injury or the other in the interest of survival. Merely by grinding something, washing the floor, spraying detergent, or walking, we are continually killing something. This killing is often done deliberately for our own welfare. In fact, we could not live if we did not do it. The bugs that we kill want to live, but we also want to live. Coexistence not being possible, the bugs must be destroyed. This act of destruction involves some sin, some adharma, which, as Krishna points out in this verse, can only be neutralized by daily prayer, not by anything else. So, all the little papas that we incur by unknowingly destroying life that we are not really aware of, because life depends upon life. That's the whole ecology of the food chain. So, in order to survive, you have to eat, you have to breathe, you have to walk. All these actions are inevitable. So, in doing so, there are some creatures which are unknowingly destroyed by us. Even as we breathe, even as we talk, even as we walk, so many microorganisms that might get squished and killed. And when one has some bacterial infection and you're taking an antibiotic, there is an act of killing. You're killing those bugs. So, how to get rid of those papas, how to neutralize those papas, Krishna says, is can only be neutralized by daily prayer, not by anything else. That's quite a strong statement. That is why Nitya Karma is so important. Not just daily prayer, even if you're praying before you eat, you're bringing into awareness the aspect of Brahman, that he permeates in and through creation. That itself neutralizes these papa karmas. Freedom from the results of one's actions. Or the verse can be taken another way. Having become purified by the knowledge, you will be liberated from all punya and papa. No one releases oneself from punya and papa without having the knowledge. Thus, the statement, Sarvakil Vishaihi Muchante, can be taken to mean from all karmas, they get released. The word Santaha can be taken together with the word Yajnashishtasshinaha, meaning being ones who are Yajnashishtasshinaha, or it can be taken as a separate word meaning the saintly people, Satpurushaha, the wise. In that case, it is an adjective to the word Yajnashishtasshinaha. They become wise because of a life of prayer, which gives them the mind necessary to know. In the second line of the verse, Krishna described those people who are given to papa karmas. I'll repeat these two paras one more time. The verse can be taken another way. Having become purified by the knowledge, you will be liberated from all punya and papa. No one releases oneself from punya and papa without having the knowledge. That is what we saw. So, Thus, the statement Sarva Kilvishaihi Muchante can be taken to mean from all karmas they get released. So once they get knowledge, so the other understanding, other way you can understand this verse is that once they're purified by knowledge, they are released from all karmas. Muchante sarva kilvishai. The word santaha can be taken together with the word yajnashishta shinaha, meaning being ones who are yajnashishta sinaha, or it can be taken as a separate word meaning the saintly people, satpurushaha, the wise. In that case, it is an adjective to the word yajnashishta sinaha. Thus, they become wise because of a life of prayer, which gives them the mind necessary to know. See, from prayer, you create antakarana shuddhi. And when that happens, you gain knowledge. So without antakarana shuddhi, there is no knowledge. In the second line of the verse, Krishna described those people who are given to papa karmas, actions based on adharma rather than dharma. They do not recognize dharma and adharma at all. They recognize only what is convenient to them. Their pleasure and security alone are important. They simply do not see anything more than that. While the Yajnashishtashinas get rid of the sins gathered, these people just go on gathering them. Because they do not offer the food they eat to the Lord, it is said that they eat papa, meaning that when they eat only sin. Sin here must be understood in the Indian context. Every karma has its own result. An action is sinful only in the sense that it results in some unpleasantness, dukkha, for the person who performed the action. Similarly, a good action simply means that it produces a result that gives you some pleasure, comfort, and so on. I'll repeat these two. So, Krishna described in the second line of the verse those people who are given to papa karmas. That are what? What are papa karmas? Actions that are based on adharma and not dharma. Actions that are based on raga dveshas and on convenience, not on commitment. Their artha and kama only are important. They simply do not see anything more than that. While the yajna shishtashinas get rid of the sins gathered, these people just go on gathering them. Because they do not offer the food they eat to the Lord, it is said that they eat papa, meaning that when they eat only sin. Now, sin here must be understood in the Indian context. Every karma has its own result. An action is sinful only in the sense that it results in some unpleasantness, dukkha, for the person who performed the action. Similarly, a good action simply means that it produces a result that gives you some pleasure, comfort, and so on. So any action that produces dukkha is papa. Any action that produces sukha is punya. There is no accurate English translation for the Sanskrit words papa and punya. So as not to confuse them with the totally different concept generally associated with the word sin in other contexts, it is preferable to retain the Sanskrit words themselves. Sin in the Indian context is always quantified. Normally, in the other context, sin is considered, you have papa, it means you will go to hell. Punya, you will go to heaven. But here, It is preferable to retain Sanskrit, the meaning, the, the Sanskrit words papa, punya, because there is no equivalent English translation for it. Sin in the Indian context is always quantified. Even in the realm of traffic violations, there are quantifiable differences, a driving violation being more serious than a parking violation. A parking violation may simply involve a fine to be paid, or your car may be towed away and may be costly to retrieve. But you do not have to keep on paying. It does not affect your insurance premium like a driving offense can. Like the laws governing traffic violations, the law of karma means that the result of any action is appropriate to the action performed. So I repeat this line. Like the laws governing traffic violations have different categories. The law of karma means that the result of any action is appropriate to the action performed. Restitution is always according to the action performed. According to the karma performed, there is both a seen and an unseen result. If the unseen result is undesirable, it is called papa. This is how it is. Those who cook and eat only for themselves and not as an offering to the devatas eat only papa, whereas those who eat only after offering the food to the Lord get rid of any sins, any papas they might have collected through other actions.
Even about the actions we do, if we do not offer, then also same thing happens.
Yeah, that is why everything has to be
Mm.
a yajna.
Upward
See,
results and all.
recognize
Mm.
devatas, when you recognize Ishvara, and your every action is done as a yajna, then automatically you're you're resolved of the papa or punya that accrues from it. Why? Because the result also you're taking as prasada.
But here it said, no, whatever action you do, according to that, the papa and punya will incur. It's not that will dissolve. It means I have not understood. Does it resolve means no punya or no papa? Because
You
in this last paragraph it is said no. Still there is some result seen and unseen. So it may be papa or it may be punya.
correct. But then see the previous paragraph, the second understanding is that once you gain knowledge, then all of these you'll be freed from karma. See,
Yeah,
once
correct.
the verse can be
Mm.
taken another way. Having become purified by the knowledge, you will be liberated from all punya and papa. So once you gain knowledge, including your sanchita karma, everything is like burnt out, isn't it? You're freed from all your previous actions. You're freed from all the karmas. See, karmas only perpetuate the creation. They have the cause-effect cycle. So once you gain knowledge, because you have gained that antakarana shuddhi by living a life of karma yoga, then you are liberated from all papa and punya, both. You attain that state of naishkarmya, actionlessness. because you may be acting, but then that doesn't affect you. So, according to the karma performed, there is both a seen and an unseen result. If the unseen result is undesirable, it is called papa. This is how it is. Those who cook and eat only for themselves and not as an offering to the devatas eat only papa. It may not give you immediate result, but it gives you the unseen result, papa. Whereas those who eat only after offering the food to the Lord get rid of any sins, any papas they might have collected through other actions. Karma has to be done. It keeps everything going. The great cosmic wheel is constantly turning. And because you are a doer, one who enjoys a free will, you are a cog in it. You can do and you need not do. A tree does whatever it has to do because that is how a tree is made. An animal also does exactly what is expected of it because it is made to do so. In this way, all non human living beings do what they do because they are programmed to do so, programmed in a certain way. The human being, however, is one whose action is performed by will. Therefore, there is choice in action. One may perform an action, not perform it, or perform it differently. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum shakyam. In the next verse, Krishna describes how the cosmic wheel keeps on going because of karma alone. Karma perpetuates the cosmic wheel. So let me just repeat this one here. So restitution is always according to the action performed. What is the actual meaning of restitution? Yes, I think it's recompense for injury or loss, the restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner. It also means the restoration of something to its original state. Restitution refers to both the return of something wrongfully taken and to compensate for loss or injury.
Like making it right.
Yeah, yeah, just bringing it back to its original state. Basically, restoring it. So, any karma produces both seen and unseen results. And if the unseen result is undesirable, that amounts to papa. So, those who cook and eat only for themselves are, and not as an offering to the devatas eat only papa. Whereas those who eat only after offering the food to the Lord get rid of any sins, any papas they might have collected through other actions. Karma has to be done. It keeps everything going. The great cosmic wheel is constantly turning, and because you are a doer, one who enjoys a free will, you are a cog in the wheel. You can do and you need not do. A tree does whatever it has to do because that is how a tree is made. An animal also does exactly what is expected of it because it is made to do so. In this way, all non-human living beings do what they have to do because they are programmed in a certain way. The human being, however, is one whose action is performed by will. Therefore, there is choice in action. One may perform an action, not perform it, or perform it differently. I'm wondering, I did not get what is restitution, because the heading of this paragraph is restitution is always according to the action performed.
It's probably based on that, Papa Punya, based on the karma, right? Like when, I mean, this is what I understood. Like the karma is done with offering the food to the Lord, then that Papa is cleansed. So according to the karma, this Papa Punya, the what do you call that, pala, is the result is based on the karma, how it is done. Can
Yes.
we read this whole paragraph one
More time? Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
I will just read the previous one also.
yeah, it'd be nice if maybe we could read the previous.
The simple meaning was given here: returning what was taken, or paying back, or compensating for harm or loss, or restoring the previous state. Restitution means
So it's like prayashit karma, something.
prayashitta, compensation for the loss.
Correct. So I'm going to read this. In the second line of the verse, Krishna described those people who are given to papa karmas, actions based on adharma rather than dharma. They do not recognize dharma and adharma at all. They recognize only what is convenient to them. Their pleasure and security alone are important. They simply do not see anything more than that. While the Yajnashistashinas get rid of the sins gathered, these people just go on gathering them. Because they do not offer the food they eat to the Lord, it is said that they eat papa, meaning that when they eat only sin. Sin here must be understood in the Indian context. Every karma has its own result. An action is sinful only in the sense that it results in some unpleasantness, dukkha, for the person who performed the action. Similarly, a good action simply means that it produces a result that gives you some pleasure, comfort, and so on. There is no accurate English translation for the Sanskrit words papa and punya, so as not to confuse them with the totally different concept generally associated with the word sin. See, what is the general meaning of sin? Let me just check on the dictionary what it says.
Equivalent to Papa, I think, since.
So, an immoral act considered to be transgression against divine law, that is sin, or an act regarded as a serious or regrettable fault, offense, or omission.
What Gurudeva always say about Papa, which gives the dukkha, and means you don't want like same action for you from them or others. So you should not do that action which produces unpleasantness or dukkha. That is Papa.
Yeah. There is no accurate right? So in the Indian context, it is preferable to retain the Sanskrit words themselves so as not to confuse them with the totally different concept generally associated with the word sin in other contexts. Sin in the Indian context is always quantified. Sin is according to the actions you do. Even in the realm of traffic violations, there are quantifiable differences. A driving violation being more serious than a parking violation. A parking violation may simply involve a fine to be paid, or your car may be towed away and may be costly to retrieve. But you do not have to keep on paying. It does not affect your insurance premium like a driving offense can. Like the laws governing traffic violations, the law of karma means that the result of any action is appropriate to the action performed. So basically, the results are action specific. It is not a qualitative result. It is a quantitative result. You can quantify it. Just like how traffic violations have different categories, even our actions. So initially when we read, it was said that unknowingly you're destroying life in the form of organisms. When you breathe, when you eat, when you have to cook for yourself, you will unknowingly, you are causing some destruction, which causes papa. So even while living a life of dharma, there is some papa incurred. So that papa is quantifiable. It is less than when you live a life of adharma. When you live a life of adharma, the sins that you accrue will be higher, will be greater. So that is why it is quantifiable. Like the law of karma means that the result of any action is appropriate to the action performed. Restitution is always according to the action performed. According to the karma performed, there is both a seen and an unseen result. If the unseen result is undesirable, it is called papa. This is how it is. Those who cook and eat only for themselves and not as an offering to the devatas eat only papa, whereas those who eat only after offering the food to the Lord get rid of any sins, any papas they might have collected through other actions.
It says no, whatever you do comes back to you. So it may be in means when we are performing action, maybe not because of that action we are getting the bad results or means not desired result. It may be the collective or collected result means that may have manifested now for this action. It can happen like that.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Gahana karmano gati. You cannot say 1 plus 1 equals 2 all the time, which is why the results of your action can be exactly what you expected to happen, more than what you expected, less than what you expected, or totally different. Karma has to be done. It keeps everything going. The great cosmic wheel is constantly turning, and because you are a doer, one who enjoys a free will, you are a cog in it. You can do and you need not do. A tree does whatever it has to do because that is how a tree is made. A tree will only give out oxygen while taking in carbon dioxide because that's how it's programmed. It does not have a free will of its own. It cannot say, okay, on Sunday, I'm not going to take in carbon dioxide. I will take in oxygen instead. It just does that day in and day out. An animal also does exactly what is expected of it because it is made to do so. In this way, all non-human living beings do what they do because they are programmed in a certain way. The human being, however, is one whose action is performed by will. Therefore, there is a choice in action. One may perform an action, not perform it, or perform it differently. In the next verse, Krishna described how the cosmic wheel keeps on going because of karma alone.
Here it is said, keep doing the karmas because you have a free will.
No, we
And
cannot help but do karma. But what karma we do, we have a choice. We have a free
no,
will.
you yeah, read that sentence again because it's more on mm, the first sentence. Keep doing the karmas.
Karma has to be done. It keeps everything going. Is that what you want?
Yes, yes, correct. That is the sentence. Means you cannot be away from the karma any time. But if
No,
you
you
feel yes, yes, please.
no, go ahead.
You should keep doing the karmas. Once means some people say, I'm not doing anything, I will be samadhista or like that. So that will not be the correct thing because karma it's means continuous process and means we cannot be away from the karma anytime. And we should keep doing whatever actions needed and the result may be different but it's keep going it, here it is said no it keeps everything going.
Correct.
We should not take a means if we don't want to perform any karma we can do that but what is best in that situation we should do that karma if it is required. We should not back out from doing any good deed there. I'm not able to explain,
Correct.
but
No, that is
hmm,
right. See, only
hmm,
human beings, see, all non-human beings, non-human living beings, they are programmed. They have the soft copy already. So they just follow that. That prototype is put up in them. A hibiscus plant will only give rise to a hibiscus flower. It will not give rise to a mango. They're all programmed. It is only human beings that are given this free will. So we can do a good deed. We need not do it, or we can do it differently. Simple example is of eating food, praying before food. You can pray before eating. You need not pray, or you can do it differently. Just feel grateful. You may not know the whole Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, the shloka, but just being grateful. So basically, human beings have the free will. And according to what they do, how they do the action, with what attitude, the results accrue. So, this is the human being, however, is one whose action is performed by will. Therefore, there is choice in action. That is why Karma Yoga there is another definition of karma. There are three aspects of karma. One is samatva, the other is kaushala. So this choice in action, this discretion in the choice of action is what is yoga karmasu kaushalam. How we want to do it, what we want to do and how we want to do it. So recognizing and acknowledging all the devatas, Ishvara in the form of all the devatas, will redeem us of any papas that we accrue. And papa is what? Papa is any unpleasantness in the mind. When you take everything as prasada, when you perform your every action as yajna, with that yajna bhava, the very act of doing is yajna, is prayerful, is beautiful. You're in gratitude. And the result also, you are not taking according to your raga dveshas. You're not getting deflated or elated when what you expect happens or doesn't happen. Rather, you're taking whatever comes as prasada. So you're basically in a state of equilibrium with respect to the very act as well as the results of the action. So we are in this cosmic wheel, keeps on going because of karma alone. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajnah karma samudbhavaha. I'll just read the meaning. Living beings are born of food. Food is born of rain. Rain is born of yajna, punya. And yajna, punya, is born of action. We'll take this up tomorrow, verse 14. Anyone wants to share a quick recap of what we've done till now? Share one takeaway. What is it we understood from these two verses? I know there's been a lot of repetition, but required repetition. We all understand it as a concept, but then we will have to put it into action. Make it our
Can you
own.
please read the sloka, Dr. Pramila? I don't.
Which one? Those two shlokas?
Yeah, the sloka for this one.
Yes, 1 second. I'll just get my book.
What I think we cannot accept from the karma's result, but we have a free will to do the karma the way skillfully. Means we can do it differently. And if we offer doing that karma, the whatever result, papa or punya, that will be neutralized. What I think so. It is said papa will be neutralized, but I think punya will also get or not, that I am not clear.
Why do you want punya?
So
Punya, papa are only going to continue you in the samsara.
cycle
Isn't
only.
it? Whether it's
Yeah.
papa or punya, it will continue. You will continue in the samsaric cycle. Here, the intention moksha is going beyond papa punya.
Punya.
It is to redeem, is to get you out of this cycle.
And whatever unpleasantness you get, it is your papa karma only. Means
Correct.
because of that unpleasantness of mind is also coming.
Correct.
So you have to be.
So how can you neutralize that papa? By changing your attitude.
Attitude.
So whatever, that is why Krishna said, Matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkhadah, Agama paino nitya tam stitikshasva bharata. Just there is no way you can escape the pairs of opposites when your sense objects are encountered by the sense organs. When your sense organs go out to the world outside, you will, by default, you get the pairs of opposites. So you cannot escape them. You cannot escape unpleasantness in life. You cannot escape dukkha in life. So what you do is titikshasva. You forbear them. That is one side, one angle to it. The other angle is to recognize Ishvara, to recognize the Devatas, to acknowledge them, to say this whole cycle of creation itself is a beautiful yajna. It's a whole yajna that is in progress. It continues. Like the sun rises at its own time. And it's set time. It just goes by clockwork. Everything in nature is going according to its own natural tendency. Here, human beings are the only ones that have this free will. So, as we given this free will, use it correctly. You are also a cog in the wheel of the creation. So, do your job as the cog. Don't become don't become anything else. Don't do anything else.
That
Adharmic.
machine example somewhere is
Follow
given,
dharma.
no? That machine example, you are the
Right.
nut and bolt, what that.
Correct. Following dharma means what? You're being a cog in the wheel. But when you want to do something outside of dharma, that becomes adharmic. Yeah. So the two verses that we did today is 12, 13. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattana pradayabhyo yo bhunkte stena eva saha yajna shishtashinas santo मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. You want me to read the meaning also? I mean, these are such important verses that we have to get the complete gist. The gods propitiated by yajna will give you desirable objects. Therefore, one who enjoys objects given by them without offering to them in return is indeed a thief. Ishtan bhogan means desirable objects. Devaha, dasyante, will give. Tairdattan apradayabhyo. Apradaya means without offering. See, when you learn, when you chant the verse with the meaning, when you understand the meaning, it's very, very uplifting. So this is the first verse we did. And then we've gone beyond time today. And then is Yajna Shishta Shinassanto. Those who eat having first offered the food to the Lord are released from impurities, whereas those sinful people who cook only for themselves eat papa or sin. See, like there is a lot of focus, attention given to food, cook food, eat in these in these few verses. Just like how in the second chapter there was a lot of focus on killing. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Because that is the ultimate act that one can do. Whereas the act that you do to survive, we all need to eat to survive. And this is the basic act that we need to do.
Oh God.
So probably that is why there is so much of focus on eating, on cooking, eating, all of this. Yeah. Anyone wants to share before we close?
Just Jai Gurudev, just a small, it reminds me of my mother-in-law for two things. Like when we used to have a bilwa tree at the end of our lane. It was not inside our home, outside. So whenever we used to pluck the bilwa patras, she used to tell first offer a bucket of water, then only pluck. That was one thing that we have to give before we take.
Mm.
And another thing, while cooking, she never she never tasted any food. Never ever. Unlike me, like I was always not confident about the taste. So I had to taste, but she never tasted. So these two things that we have to offer it first to God and then put in our mouth.
Yeah.
Even while tasting. Yeah. So it was such a beautiful.
Right. You see, a very nice point you brought up. While when we are even offering as Naivedya, you can do it mechanically. You can just do that because you're told to do it. But if you're able to do it with that sublime attitude, you're recognizing, you're doing it with that bhakti. Bhakti is heightened awareness of the whole in the manifest. So you're bringing Ishvara into your awareness. And you're saying, all this is but you. Just like that dreamer and the dream world. There is no dream world that exists apart from the dreamer. There is only the dreamer. There is only Ishvara permeating everywhere. I am Ishvara, you are Ishvara, the food that is cooked is Ishvara. When we bring our awareness to that state and then do it, that cleanses the mind more and more.
Today my son sent, can I share?
Yeah, please say.
Today my son sent one message. Now, what he expected and same thing happened. So whatever he has dreamed, means dreamer and dream is same. So whatever he was wanted, that uh, that automatically manifested, and that means you are in the same thing. So there is no difference between the dream and dreamer. You will be in that only, that dream only. Means whatever is our dream, we get that get manifested according to what we need, we wanted. So we are in the same condition which we have desired. So that dream and dreamer, um, that dissolves when it manifests. Like through all the creation, that spark is there and it is always there, but it shows somewhere else, and somewhere it is not shining, or means what, you cannot see that.
Right. So what you expect happens, that is also one of the results. Sometimes it happens more than what you expect. Sometimes it is quite the opposite. So all this is governed by the laws of karma again. So we'll close here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.
is meditation, is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.